by the power of Grayskull.
Hello, this is just a quick video on UFC 2 for the PS4. It's just a quick review. I bought it yesterday, the day it came out, and to be honest, I was ready just to take it back because I wasn't impressed with the way it handled, the way they had changed it, just everything about it. I thought, oh, this is shit, this. Partly because I was getting my ass kicked and that always dampens your spirits. But I played the first UFC, so I sort of kind of knew what I was already getting, so I can compare the two. If you haven't played UFC before, I would still go out and get it, and just take your time, get used to the buttons by playing the challenges or the training. If you can't be asked to do that, just put it on like a versus mode and just play against your friends or the computer and just get used to it, because when you pick a proper UFC fighter, they've got good stamina, they've got good power and stuff like that, so you're not going to be getting tired after hiring a few punches. But if you start off in the training, if you start off as a career mode straight away, then you get given a chance to create your own person, but then your stats are all really low, and you find it hard to win fights at first. Like I say, I was ready to take it back. I thought it was shit. I couldn't win. I couldn't even get past the first guy in the easiest fight. You know, I couldn't even get past him. And I had it on normal. I didn't even have it on hard or anything like that. And I later went and changed the AI to like progressive, where it'll just learn the way you fight and it adapts the way it fights you to keep you on your toes. Or you can just have it on like easy, normal or hard, or you can have it on adaptive. So I had it on adaptive at first and it's far too hard, so I had it on normal. That was still too hard, and I had it on easy, and I'm only just doing it on easy. So it just depends how good of your fighter is. It's because mustn't be that good, obviously, or I haven't played it for a while. Truth be told, I haven't played it since the first one first came out. I've got a review on it on my channel as well, if you want to go back and watch UFC 1 if you haven't played them before, so you can sort of see the difference. The rosters are all the same, but obviously all the familiar people are there. There's a few new people there. CM Punk, the wrestler's on, Mike Tyson, old and new, and Bruce Lee's back on it. So the roster's great. There's loads of people, but you will find there's a lot of the fighters have been replicated for different weight divisions. Like say Mike Tyson's in light heavyweight, Andy's in heavyweight, Conor McGregor's in like say bantamweight and featherweight, or welterweight and bantamweight, or whatever. It's like they spread them out, so it does look like you've got a lot of fighters, but you'll notice repetition. And it's just one of those games where it's class for just putting it on, passing the two pads around and just letting each other like kick fuck out of each other, especially in the new knockout mode that they have got. The new knockout mode is basically like the proper game, but it's just arcade style. You haven't got as much health and you can get knocked out straight away, plus there's no grabs, it's all punching and kicking. When you do your career mode, this is like what I was talking about before, how they've changed all the ground game, and instead of you just guessing or having to look in your moves to see what each transition is, it gives you a little heads up here, like it highlights what you're actually doing, so you can lock on the triangle hold or whatever it is you're playing, you're trying to do at the time. You've got a lot of options and it tells you exactly what you're picking now, so even if you're not used to the terminology of UFC, the names of the grabs and shit like that, you've still got some sort of idea of what you want to do. And then it gives you like a rating here. Say I've got F because I had it on hard, but you put it at A, B, C or D, E, F, and then when you come to do your training next time, like if you look here, stand up, clinch or ground, I went for takedown offense, and medium there, best rank A, square to simulate. So you can just simulate previous training sessions, which you've already done, and you've got a high score. It remembers that high score, so the next time you don't actually have to do the whole training session again. You can just simulate it based on your last score. So I think that's really helpful, and it comes in handy, and it saves a lot of time, and it's a nice little touch that they've obviously changed from the first one. All these options you're looking at are all from the first game as well, so they haven't really added anything or taken anything away. It's all just basically the same, even the same haircut, everything. I basically created my character around myself, and I basically got all the same options as I did from the very first game. I look exactly the same basically. So, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It would be nice if you could go crazy, like, if you played WWE, the creation on that's the kind of thing they need on this, where you could get dressed up, or you can go crazy with the customization, because then that's when you'll get the most fun out of it. If you're creating like Jesus versus Hitler or something like that, you can have a right laugh, and it would look funny as out when you've got them like fist fighting in the ring. So I think they could improve that. Hopefully UFC 3 or whatever, they'll start going down that direction. But on the flip side of that, I do enjoy how it's more realistic. You can't go ballistic, with hairstyles and daft stuff like that. It does make it feel more real, especially when you've created your character and you see him in the cutscenes and in the fighting. It is more believable. Like, say, the skin, the texture of the skin, the tattoos, the sweat. You get bruises and you get red marks on your skin as well. Depending on your skin tone, you can see them better than others. Your damage is great. You get black eyes, you get cut noses. Like, you've got them in a headlock or something, and you're both leaning over and you're punching them in the face, and you can just see the blood dripping onto the floor with every punch. So it's gruesome. The detail to the damage is really good. This is the perk system. This is just in the options when you're doing, see how everything's level 1, level 2, level 3. You can do it up, but to earn points to be able to upgrade, you have to fight for ages. Like I say, when you first put on the game, you create your character. If you do the career mode, you create your character, you go to the UFC, you've got to do a fight against someone, a random guy. It took us ages to get past him because your character is so shit. It's like you throw 3 punches and then you've got no health. So if he punches you, you get knocked out. So it's frustrating. So it took us ages to get past that. Then you get entered into a tournament in the UFC. And then you do the quarters, the semis, and then the final. So after you eventually do that, then you can you have your first octagon fight, and you start fighting like still unknown people. Then you've got to dominate that for a bit and start winning, because I've had like 12 fights, or this is my 12th fight. So I've only just done 12 fights with my shit character, and I've only just got enough money to start buying more moves, and then that's when you can customize what your directions do, and it gives it a bit more tactics to your fighting. Like, I know what directions are certain kicks, so you can start making up your own combinations, and you can start fighting more tactically, which I like. But it's the same as any fighting game. Once you learn the buttons, you can start doing your own shit. But it is the same with this. And like I say, it's more dynamic the way you get knocked out. Like, I proper knocked this guy out when he was kicking me ass, but it's because I caught him with a heavy punch and he was out of breath, and I've just caught him right and I've knocked him out. So it's like a real fight. It doesn't particularly go on how much you get done in, it just goes on the momentum and like what actually happens in the fight. Like I say, the animations are good, the way that people move and jump about, I think that's realistic, and there is a few times it glitches and there is a few times it fucks up, but you can, it's a computer game. If you've been playing games for a long time, you look past that kind of thing. Like, it's not so bad it pulls you out of the game and it ruins it for you, but it does exist. What else? The buttons are the same, the graphics are great, and it's more of a simulation now. It's like, it's all about tactics, because once you get knocked out, or once you get put to the floor, you know, you really are struggling to regain consciousness and get up and turn the fight around. But see how I knocked him out there with just that hard kick? You know, it's that kind of thing that happens on the knockout mode. You know, just one punch connects right, and that's it, and you get knocked out. So as overall, I would give it about 8 out of 10, because it's similar as the first game. But if you like UFC, then definitely go out and get it, because it's a great one to play with your friends. So that's it. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Bergliana has called a stop to this contest.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.